Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Elise, beautiful Elise. Hello to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I just wanted to share a word that God has given to me. And it wasn't really a word, it was a phrase. And it's an action phrase. It was an action phrase, and I heard it just as clear. He said, "Stop saying that." And I kept thinking, God, what do you mean, stop saying that? And my spirit went back into working in the prison setting. Just to give you a little short snaps of the prison setting, I started working in the prison um, when I was approximately 21 years old. It was my first job with the state. I was excited. I was young. I was just so happy to be able to take care of my sons. Um, but I had so much, I guess you say, pushback from the female workers. And it wasn't all, but it was quite a few that I came in. I was young, impressionable. I don't know what way to put it. I think I was very pretty, but in the same sense, they were too. But however, it was a culture, if you would say it that way. It was a culture that um, if you didn't fit in, you were going to get out. So I felt that at that time, as a young girl who had experience and was still going through the healing process of trauma that has happened to me. And I will share just a teeny bit of that. I've been abused, I've been molested, I also was raped. And I didn't know how to handle the rejection of people, people, and it meant men, women, because, just wanting to fit in, just wanting to do and be whatever a person or people, just to feel like you're loved. I felt totally rejected while I was at this job. And it just felt so uncomfortable going to work every day, being told you're not doing well, or either feeling like everybody was against you, because of course you had people that you grew up with that were corrections officers. Some girls got jobs in the other offices and so forth. And it appeared that a lot of the females just hated me. And it was familiar. It was like a familiar feel. It was a familiar feel that I would have to continue to fight. And my thoughts then, my way of handling things then, was physical fighting, because I grew up in a family that abuse was prevalent. It was prevalent. It was like you had sisters on sisters, cousins against cousins. And it just felt like, wow, I'm going into a workplace and it's still there. That spirit was still there. And what I did, because it hurt so bad, I left. I walked off a state job. I went to lunch and said, I'm not coming back. And there's so many different scenarios that happened to lead up to that. So don't think, oh, because she wasn't like, she just walked. No, it's a lot more to it. But I'm just trying to get to what God is saying. Stop saying that. So in that, God had to teach me how to grow more. He had to teach me how to take things a little bit more. And I got back to that same state job, but as a contractor. 7 years later, 7 years, I had to be like 27, 28, somewhere like that. He allowed me to be in that job again, not in that specific office, but the same managers, supervisors, co-workers were still there. And I came in with a spirit of expectation that only God can give. And it was an expectation to do well, an expectation not to take on everybody else's accusations or thought pattern, or even falling into the trap of the culture. So he blessed me when I went back, and he allowed me to go through that test one more time without having to walk out. Sometimes our test makes you repeat it. if you didn't get it right the first time. So that's something for somebody. So as I began to work, I was told about a position that they were having as a counselor. I applied, and God prepared the table before the presence of my enemies. And he put all those who were in leadership at the same table as I sat. And I was making decisions on the fate of some of the inmates that were there. So God prepared me for that, because he said, stop saying, because I used to always say they don't like me. I don't understand why, what did I do wrong? What is it about me that everybody seems to come against me? And it was real. It was real. It ain't nothing made up. And I'm going to say it to you too. You're not making it up. People are coming against you. People are people. But what God had to teach me at that moment, and I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want my videos to be too long, is the enemy wants you to say and respond to what others are saying or doing, because he uses them only because they're available to be used. They're available to hurt you. They're available to put themselves in a crowd position and make it appear like everybody's against you. Nobody likes you here. We don't even want you here. And it was like, it is so real, because people will start to sabotage your work. They will begin to make you feel like you're not worthy. And then I begin to say it. I don't fit here. I don't belong here. Why am I here? And because I kept saying it, my actions followed. And I packed my things up. Hey, God. I packed up everything. And I walked off of a blessing that God was trying to teach me how to grow. And because I said it, my actions followed it. That's what God is saying. Stop saying that. Because if you keep saying it, you're going to start doing what you say. It says in the word, the power of the tongue brings life or death. So be mindful of what you're saying, because actions will follow. So God is saying to you, stop saying that. That's part one of one of my testimonies. I pray that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Bye-bye.